Good morning. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the speeches that we did last week. And after going through all of your speeches and providing you some feedback in the grade book, I wanted to talk to you about the top three things that kept coming up in the speeches themselves. And moving forward to our next speech, I would like you to consider the following three things. I want you to use an attention getter. Your mama always told you you only get one chance to make a first impression, and that's with an attention getter. So if I start my speech off with, Hi, my name's Mr. Patterson, and today I'm going to give you three things to consider. That's not as good as using an attention getter. Three, three important concepts to understand for public speaking. So always use an attention getter. Don't state your name and topic first. Make sure you go with one of the techniques that we've talked about before in this class. So let me move myself over, but you can ask a question, a rhetorical question, make a reference, a startling statement, give a quotation, and my favorite is tell a story. And I'll have a video out on that sometime later next week. All right. The next thing I want you to consider is telling stories is very important within the body of your speech. You remember Gabby Petito, the young lady that was on the cross-country trip with her boyfriend. I won't go into any more details, but think about how compelling that story was. It had us on the edge of our seats for 3 weeks. The next thing I'd like you to consider is try not to put so much text onto your slides, rather, and even bullet points. Rather, use graphs and charts and maps. Here you see an infograph. Even that, in my opinion, and there's a temptation to use infographics, but even an infograph, in my opinion, is a little busy to be a good visual aid. This is something that I'd like to see in a magazine or online, but not necessarily a speech. So make your own graphs and make them say what you want. This is the market share of cell phones. And what could I do to make this visual aid clearer? Give that thing a border. Now look, this is a singular communication about a singular point. That's the best type of visual aid. Finally, make sure that you not only cite your sources in APA format at the end of your outline, but cite your sources aloud. It's a speech. Cite your sources aloud. So in this instance, Anshul Gupta is a senior research director at Gartner Communications. And he said the following. So, and I don't need to say what the following is because you can see it there, but I would in my speech. So instead of showing the words, speak the words, show the visual. And this is what a good visual aid would look like. So let's quickly review 3 things to consider in your speech. Use an attention getter. Speak the words, show the image, and cite your source aloud. This is Mr. Patterson. I'm checking out right now. I'll see you sometime in the future. So long, folks.